Hello guys, Rambling Man here. It's absolutely beautiful here in the Commonwealth of Virginia today. I'm getting a lot later start than I'd hoped. I'd hoped for an early morning ride, but it's almost 3 in the afternoon. But I'm going to get out. I did have a minor victory. I sold some saddlebags I had taken off my Indian Scout way back when I owned that, and sold them on eBay last night, so I had to get those all boxed up and shipped out. Good to have a little hobby money. And I think I'm gonna go out to Lake Anna today and see if the boats are out with this warm day, see if I can get some good footage there. See you on the road. This is Rambling Man on the road with you. As I said, beautiful day here in Virginia. I'm westbound on 33 in Virginia. I think I might cruise by Lake Anna, see if any boats are out worth flying the drone. Hopefully not so gusty today. I received a shipping notice that my new Freedom windshield will be here, I think, early next week. Look forward to giving that. Hopefully I measured correctly and got a good size. I think this little tape experiment I did here on my helmet didn't really do anything. I guess that's not the source of the leak of air coming into this helmet. Right as I was leaving for this ride, I got an email from my dad saying that he was talking to my sister, one of my sisters, and he was saying how much he was glad I was enjoying riding the motorcycle, and she said that's good because she's about to get one as well. So that's interesting. I know the industry would love to have more females in general joining the hobby to widen the purchaser base. You know, it's predominantly a male-driven hobby, but more and more women, kind of like gun ownership, more and more women are getting into it. With gun ownership, minorities and women are on the rise, mainly because crime has gotten so bad because of the defund the police movement, and people realize you're on your own for your own safety. A Supreme Court case has found long ago that the police owe you no duty of safety. They come in after the fact. The old motto is, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away. Well, now that might be literally 20, 30 minutes if they come at all. One of the local police chiefs in our area noted recently they're changing policy to not respond in person to certain calls, and they had a long list of them. And that's what happens. It starts that way, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Now, on the motorcycling, I don't know what is driving that increase, but I know that I think social media is part of it. I think female riders have a pretty good chance that they can get a pretty quick following on YouTube. Enough said about why. I think you know, it's just is what it is, right? And you know, if they produce a modicum of good content, which a lot of them are doing, they're younger, IT savvy, with the software editing tools, and you know, I think social media is a little bit part of it. I think the COVID lockdown may have contributed to some of it, where people said, hey, I'm just going to get out and do something. Either way, it's a good thing. See, I have different gloves on. These are not the Elite Parks. These are gloves I bought last year, I think off Revzilla. I can't remember the brand, but I can look it up. They're perforated, so airflow through them. They're touchscreen compatible. You can see this one here. So I wore these last year for part of the season, and you know, much cheaper than the Elite Park design gloves, and but different features. You know, I thought about riding down to Route 5 in Virginia. We call that the 5 and Dime ride. A lot of people will take Route 5 down from here, from this side, down to the Williamsburg area, and then you follow, I think it's Route 31, or some people I think might take a ferry somewhere around there, maybe it's around there, or you drive Route 31 and take Route 10 back the way you came. I've done it once. I mean, I've been on Route 5 plenty, but a purposeful trip on my motorcycle was just done once. And the thing is, it's like Route 10 is a completely different ride than Route 5 to me. Route 5 is probably the more wooded, scenic part, which I enjoy. Route 10, just kind of fields and water in some spots. But when I can ride roads like these, practically pretty much outside my door, it kind of scratches that itch for me. Whereas, you know, if you live in the suburbs or a city and you want to get out, you got to ride on Route 5, or which is east. Like if you're in the Richmond suburbs, most people got to go east to get to Route 5 and out of the city in the suburbs, or you go west, which is where I'm at, and we're already here, you know. An update for you on me finding glasses that fits into the helmets, and mainly this helmet, because I expect to be wearing it more often when I need the glasses. I tried everything they threw at me at LensCrafters, and I just couldn't find anything that the helmet didn't hit and rot up on the face. If I turned my head any, lifted, sometimes I couldn't even get them to really sit on the bridge of my nose. So, despite saying I wasn't, I'm going to give Flying Eyes another try. And I wish they had a store or somewhere to try these on. Yeah, come to think of it, it just hit me that maybe they would have in Charlottesville. But I've ordered a pair with no prescription, and you can send them back in 30 days on your dime for shipping, which is cheaper probably than me paying for another trial kit. But once you get prescriptions in them, they're kind of yours, and I would probably just have the prescription put in locally. But what I did was they consider their non-prescription, they come with some bifocal with readers at the bottom, and then it's just non-prescription otherwise. So I ordered that version, because that might be all I need. I mean, I could benefit from some distance, but I know that I don't really need distance. My prescription's really low for that. It's mainly reading. And so I tried these bifocals with readers at the bottom, non-prescription. And hey, if I like the frame and they fit better in this helmet, then I'll look at, if I need to, getting a prescription put in there. So we'll see. I just ordered those this morning. So we're going to cross over Lake Anna right here. That's the warm private side. Not a boat in sight, which is not unusual for the private warm side on a weekday in particular. But I really thought there'd be somebody out. I think part of it is a lot of these folks have bought the houses at Lake Anna as their weekend house. So during the weekday, it's like you got it to yourself. Heck, on the weekend sometimes it's like you've got it to yourself. a long curve there. Then you follow it up with this one here. Nice long curve that I need to get better at. You guys can critique that and tell me what I could do better. I'm sure plenty. There's a spot I ride to where they have a public fishing area around the lake, and it's a far way for boats to come. We did it when we were on the public side one time in our boat, and man, it's the public side's a big lake, and where you launch your boat from, it's a long way out there to get to the end. The end is where the dam is, and on the private side, because it's a smaller lake, it also it's not as long, but because of where it is, a lot of boats don't even bother coming out that far. But sometimes there's some fishing boats because they come up to where the rocks are at the bridge or at this road that's been built up, and it's a safe place where I can launch the drone where I don't get too many talkers. I don't think people think sometimes you're flying a drone way up in the air, 400 feet above ground level, and somebody comes up and just starts chatting with you, and they take it as rude when you say, like, hey, I'd love to talk, but right now I'm piloting this drone up in the air. I think they think it's like a toy, and they get offended or something. I've had people kind of like give a harumph and walk away. It's like, you can't talk while you're doing it. Alright, so here's the roads coming up that I mentioned. You're going to have the warm side, which is the private side of the lake on the right, and then the public side on the left. I don't see a single boat. Man, it's surprising to me. Nothing. Anybody over here? Nothing. Let's see. Look at that. Nobody. There's nobody here. Seeing just the water is kind of boring footage. It's always fun to get a boat or a jet ski in there. That's interesting. Somebody waiting out to go fishing there. I think I'm going to bypass this area for right now. I've stopped there plenty. And usually when I get to the stop sign, I take a right up here. And maybe this is the road I'm thinking of. I'm going to take a left. And if it's the road I'm thinking of, it kind of twists down. I think it takes you past a couple of marinas. It's a beautiful drive back here. This was the road I was thinking of. Like I was saying, for me to go out to Route 5. Now, if I was going out Route 5 for the destinations, there's a lot of historic homes on Route 5. That's one thing. But just for the ride, like, to me, this kind of satisfies my itch I need to get out and go riding. Dead end. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the left here, I think. Oh, I don't have a stop. So when you come over here, like, you don't know what's on the other side. It could be a car stop. So I tend to hold back until you know kind of what you're getting into. You don't have to be as careful when you're in a car, but it helps on a motorcycle for sure to know kind of what's peeking around the corner before you go full gun on the throttle. Like these curves here, you just don't, somebody could be stopped in a road for mail. You kind of want to peek around. All clear here. Now we're going to have a school bus. But a private marina would be a great place to launch, but I can just see them not liking that. Well, a couple of boats out on that side. Can't really get a good look over there. A question for you guys, when you go in, when you're traveling on longer trips or maybe shorter, what do you do with your helmet? I've been taking mine in everywhere I go, which obviously can be a hassle. And I'm thinking about this trip like to Appomattox and VMI. Man, walking around all day holding a leather jacket and or wearing it would be a bummer. I emptied my saddlebag so I could put in my jacket on an upcoming trip and lock it to locking saddlebag, but it doesn't fit my helmet. Do you guys use like a gun lock? I've thought about doing that, like wrapping a gun lock around something and cinching it. But, you know, people can vandalize it. It's often our most expensive accessory, and even the gun lock or whatever else I would use is just keeping honest thieves honest. If somebody really wanted to, they could get to it. But what do you guys do?